Welcome to Less Than 15, a show for busy business owners brought to you by DFK Australia, New Zealand. Each week we deliver bite-sized, actionable insights from industry experts so you're across the issues that really matter. I'm your host, Angela Rasmus. Let's dive into this week's topic. Hello and welcome to our latest episode of the Less Than 15 podcast, where today we're joined by the founder, the CEO, and the digital Sherpa of Adventure Digital, a marketing agency that's based in regional New South Wales. We have Leanne O'Sullivan with us. Hello, Leanne. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Angela. It is great to be here today.
Fantastic. We're going to be digging into how to make the most of your digital marketing, which every business owner needs. We want to look at some of the things that you might be overlooking. And this conversation is going to transform the way that you look at digital marketing and the actions that you take as a result. Big claim, but I have a lot of faith in this woman. I know her prowess and have seen a lot of the work that she does. So take out a pen and paper if you've got it and don't miss the show notes. So let's start with the big question, Leanne. Most businesses, as we mentioned, are investing their time and their money and their attention in digital marketing, but there are blind spots that they may be missing. Can you highlight for us what those more typical blind spots are that you see when you're working with business owners?
Well, thank you for that introduction. And hopefully I'm going to live up to those big, bold claims. But I actually do think that I'm going to. I want to start off before we talk about anything to assure everyone you do not need to do more social media. Digital marketing does not equal social media. Digital marketing is more encompassing than just that. And I think that's the first thing that businesses tend to make the mistake, that they equate digital marketing with social media. Digital marketing actually includes, I like to think, 4 key areas: web stuff, if you like, social media stuff, content marketing stuff, and search stuff. So there is a bit more information about those 4 things, but I really just want to focus on where people get things wrong. Oftentimes when people are wondering, well, what do I need to improve my position? What do I need to improve my traffic, or most importantly, my leads and my sales? Let's just get to the guts of it.
Yeah.
People talk about that, but they often don't understand, well, what's working right now before they start diving into new things. And invariably when they dive into what's working right now, they may be shocked to discover that the time and energy and the effort that they're putting into social media is not actually paying dividends that they can track and account for.
That's actually such a good point. I have heard many business people speak about this. We're putting so much time into this, and where's the payoff? And I love this idea, which is very much aligned with the DFK ANZ approach, benchmarking. Let's find out where we are so that we can know where it is that we're going and how our progress is moving along.
100%. So while social media is, yes, important, don't look to it as the place that's going to be sending traffic your way or converting people. It may happen. Think of it more like a brand awareness or an awareness kind of aspect to your overall marketing arsenal, if you like. Mm-hmm. Because what happens for business, invariably when they start looking at their traffic, you want to be looking at, where are my people coming from? So you need to know, visitors to my website, are they coming organically? Which could mean terrific SEO, search engine optimization, could mean terrific brand awareness. People know about you in your market. Both things are good. Are people coming from social media? Maybe, maybe not. If they're not, don't be disheartened. Don't think, oh, it's because I'm doing it wrong. No, social media is not necessarily designed to drive traffic. So when we chase likes and we chase followers, we might be chasing the wrong thing if our expectation is traffic, leads in particular, and obviously conversions. We want to know, is our traffic, our leads, are they coming from email marketing? This is a big one. If you're setting things up correctly, your analytics should be telling you the visits from our website last month, a good chunk of them came from email. And potentially, if they turn into phone calls, if they turn into bookings, if they turn into sales, all of those things you can track if things are set up properly inside Google Analytics. So I got this lead from a Google search. I got this lead from an email campaign I said last week. I got this sale from some ads that I actually had, whether they were Google ads or whether they were paid social ads, but they had a specific goal in mind. But when we don't know, when we just think, oh, I must do more social media, I'm going to invest more, oh, I have to do a terrible thing that often people think, I need to refresh my brand. Oh, it's clearly my logo and my brand's all wrong. No,
No. Yeah.
just slow down and let's look at our data before we make decisions about what we're going to do next.
So it feels as though it's about getting under the surface. I mean, anyone who sends an email newsletter has probably gone and seen their opening rate and possibly even their click rate. Where are people clicking? But that's just the surface level that we're talking about. Oh, look, we got X amount of likes or X amount of comments on our post. But again, that's just the surface. So if we're going to dig down underneath and understand, you've mentioned Google Analytics, which is the code and the tracking that we put on our actual website. How else can we get this fuller picture? Go into a little more detail for us.
Okay, so one of the things that you might want to think about is you want to look at the customer journey that people take once they land on your website. One of the ways that you can do that is to put little tracking codes onto links that you have inside ads that you might have, social posts that you might do, email campaigns that you have. A normal email marketing program, if you turn tracking on, should give you automatically create the little, they call them UTM. Universal Tracking Measurement, I believe is what UTM stands for. It's very simple. It's trying to understand people visited this page of my website from this source, could have been Google, this medium, Google ads or organic. This was the campaign. If you actually had an ad campaign. For email marketing, you might see something like email marketing, active campaign, and you may even see the name of your campaign that drove that traffic into your website. And of course, the other things that you can do once you've correctly labeled, if you like, links coming into your website from whatever source, you can then track them into the action that they take so that you can see, well, what happened as a result of people opening my newsletter? What happened as a result of people clicking on things? Sometimes people, when they send an email campaign out, they're just relieved that they've sent it out.
Done it. Tick that box.
And I understand that feeling. I understand it for myself. I understand it for my clients. So please don't feel email marketing shame if you're just relieved that you got one out the door. That's a big tick in my book. But what's most important once you've sent it is to actually have a look at the metrics after you've sent it. So as you've mentioned, open rates, click-through rates. You should pay attention to what have they clicked on. And then inside analytics, have a look to see what did they do next. Is the page that I sent them to an ask page? Have I asked them to do something on this page? So that you then are looking at two different kinds of actions. We've asked them in the email campaign to do this thing. And then on our page that we've on our website, we've asked them to do something else. And at each point, we're tracking what happens next.
So a classic example, like if people have heard the term opt-in or ethical bribe, lead magnet, etc., depending on the style of business and who you're looking to talk to, one of those actions could be, you've come through from here, now please download this thing so that I know you are interested in this particular slice of my business. And that allows me to get more specific, perhaps with the next messages that I'll be sending you. So it's really educating yourself about the reactions and responses of your market.
Exactly. And as part of that, if we just focus on email marketing in this instance, when they take that action, when they click on that link, whether it's a link to download something, a link to view a service potentially on our website, we can then take the next step, which is segment our data. So instead of then sending email campaigns out to all and sundry, anyone that has a pulse, we then can understand, right, well, this person clicked on this link, which was for this page of our service. I'm going to then label them as someone who's interested in service A, whatever that is. Because in future, you might want to send a campaign just to all the
Just to them.
people that are interested in whatever service A is. And I think that's super important, especially when you start to think about return on investment and the retention of your client base. Sometimes people worry when they start to send email campaigns regularly that people are going to be tuned off and disappear. And if we send our message to everyone without considering what the message is and who's it best for, that's when you may get some drop-off. So it's
That
this
makes
kind of
sense.
segmentation is really important in terms of retention. But once you start looking at where people are coming from, what they're clicking on, and what they do next, you start to get something that's even more important, an understanding of your return on investment.
And that return on investment can be money, energy, time. So
Exactly.
this is a big subject, but we have a great starting point, which you're providing, which is downloadable on the podcast page, or if you're watching this video, there will be a link, the Google Data Studio template, which helps you with this benchmarking, with setting things up so that you can begin to understand where from, where to. Is that correct?
Exactly. Because for many of you, if you, like me, had been quite familiar with the olden days and Google Analytics, how it was 2 years ago, we understood where all the things were. Now Google has changed the way that they capture data and, more importantly, how they display data inside Google Analytics. And I have to be honest, it's a bit yuck. So you're not alone if you think, I really don't know what I'm looking at in here. It's quite confusing. Yes, it is. It's confusing for everyone. So the Google Data Studio template that I put together for people is a great way of simplifying the key pieces of information into a 4-page little document so that you see at a glance the information that is most relevant for any kind of business, whether you are a service-based business, whether you are an e-commerce business. It allows you to hook things up and inside the template just spit out what's most relevant for you.
Fantastic. And this makes perfect sense. There are so many different things that a business owner needs to keep their finger on the pulse of. So simplifying one of the most important parts of that business in terms of us being in such a digital world is a really great step in the right direction. I'll also, Leanne, put a link through to your website because I know that you have quite a few very, very informative blogs on there, which could help people understand other aspects of digital marketing. So thank you very much for both your ability to make us look at the things that are most important and for the supply of that particular resource, which I know will be really helpful to our listeners.
You're very welcome. And I hope it's very useful to those people listening and taking advantage of it today.
I'm sure it will be. So there you go, lovely listener. There is action for you to take today. When we measure things and benchmark, you can become aware of what are the goals that you are setting. You can start to take the actions that will have a better payoff to all of that effort that you're putting into your business growth. Run across and grab this download. The link is just below and it's in the show notes. And let's see how you are going to handle your Google data going forward. Thanks for your time and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Less Than 15 and have a fresh idea or two to take action on. Hit the subscribe button so you catch every bite-sized business bulletin. And we'd love you to leave a review or perhaps share the episode with a friend. Less Than 15 is brought to you by accountants and business advisors DFK Australia New Zealand, helping business owners make better decisions through local knowledge, national connections, and global reach. We'll be back next week with more valuable insights to help you and your business grow.